dark, yeah. We're in the dark. We're in the dark, yeah. We're in the dark. We're in the dark, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Duncan Showroom, live on the interweb. We just had to take a deep breath after that funk number because, holy man.
That was something, eh, Billy?
That was something. And from what era? Oh, hello. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gene. How's
Hi,
it going?
Billy.
Yeah, I've just thrown
Tim.
off there, I tell you. Dr.
Yeah.
Ted and Longevity John in
Yeah.
the room. So that was from the funk period, a little instrumental production with the warm-up band, you said. What year, perhaps?
Around 81.
81. Whoa, nice.
Yeah, 81, 82.
In the dark. That's just...
In the dark.
It says a lot, actually, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Well, who we got? We got Bill and Pat from Toronto.
Oh, good.
And Carol again. Hi. Hi, Maid Ert. She made Ert. She's doing Christmas crafts, apparently.
Oh, good.
And Ert.
Yeah.
So, how are you keeping? You well?
I'm feeling really fine. A little bit in the dumps yesterday when Charlie Pride passed away.
Oh, that's right. I know
You
you
know?
revered him quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I just love Charlie Pride's music, and he's gone, 86 years old. But he had a very, very good life in the music industry, being the first black country singer superstar.
Yes.
I mean, there were others out there, but I'm talking, he was like a superstar, like Elvis and everybody else, the Beatles, whoever. And apparently he was a very nice man. I never met him, but Chris Whiteley and Diana Braithwaite, they met him and said that he was a very nice man. And everybody that they interviewed on the documentary I saw, they all said the same thing about him.
I love that. And you also mentioned that he had said something about not, in an interview, that not having experienced real prejudice through his career.
No, he didn't. He said that the lady asked him what it was like for him, and he said he never had any problems whatsoever. He was never booed once, never any catcalls or booing, and all his peers all respected him and liked him, and they treated him really well. He said he had a very, very, very good career.
I think it just goes to show those smart-ass culture fans in New York that really country music people are much better than pop and rock fans, really. Wouldn't you think?
Could
Real
be.
salt of the earth, you know?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Salt of the earth is
Don't
right.
make fun of the rednecks. They're nice people.
Anyways, yeah. So anyway, and I'm going to do a Charlie Pride tune for you in a minute, but I have a few Charlie Pride tunes that I put in my act, and actually I was going to do a whole tribute to Charlie Pride years ago, but I just couldn't find the right musicians at the time. I have all the charts and the words and everything else, you know.
What would you see? It's drummer, bass players that need a little piano in there too, or what would you put in
Probably
there?
a piano and maybe a steel guitar player.
Steel
maybe,
guitar, yeah.
Maybe
Mm.
even a violin, fiddle, or whatever, you know.
Right. Take a bit of doing.
Yeah, and I didn't know enough people at the time when I first moved here, so it never worked out. But I do have all the makings for it.
You do, sir.
But I remember in the '60s when Charlie was making a name for himself. I remember there were people down on Yonge Street that were trying to take me away from Ronnie Hawkins so that I could take me down to Nashville.
Right.
They wanted me to sing country music. Come on, we'll take you down to Nashville. Charlie Pride's doing well, you know. But I was always surprised they never came up with a female country singer. black country singer.
Hmm.
They never ventured there in that area, and there's quite a number of them that do sing country music, and they're very, very good.
Huh.
Yeah. So
And
anyway,
you weren't tempted by Nashville?
no, not really. I was in Nashville with Ronnie in the '60s when we toured down in Arkansas and Oklahoma, Nashville, and that, and we went into I went into the Grand Ole Opry one day.
Oh.
And took a walk downtown and went into the Grand Ole Opry, and there was a guy on the stage tuning the piano. So I just sat there in one of the seats and just said, well, at least I made it to the Grand Ole Opry.
You've been there, yeah. You can smell the sweat.
Yeah, the culture, the heritage, the history of that place, is just amazing. Yeah. But I never made it, and I never made it as a performer. Well, I don't do a lot of country. I do some. And I did write a country song one time when I was living in Barrie, and I found out that in Hamilton they were having a country contest. And but when I found out about it, I thought you just had to write one country tune.
Right.
But then when I went to submit it, that's when I found out you had to have 3 country tunes. I only had a few days to do it, and I'm not that fast a writer, so I never sent it in, and I just ended up with a really neat country song called "Country on the Jukebox."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like it,
and I don't do it that. I used to do it with the band, but I don't do it solo.
Right.
But so that's how I got my country tune.
Nice. Country swing, you'd funk it up for sure.
So I thought I was going to do something like Crystal Chandelier or Kiss an Angel Good Morning, but I decided not to. This is a Charlie Pride tune that kind of one of his obscure tunes, I guess you might say. And it's called Just for the Love. All right. I remember walking with my daddy through weathered fields of grain. I never heard him curse the sun or give up on the rain. I said, hey, Dad, why don't you sell this place, move to town, you'll have money to burn. He said, hey, son, you don't understand, I don't do this for what I earn. It's just for the love of it. That's all the reason you need. Who could ask for anything else? Satisfaction or guaranteed. Don't chase rainbows for your pot of gold. You'll always have enough if you do everything you do just for the love. I drove on back down to Nashville thinking that my daddy's words couldn't be true. How could a man pour out his heart to have it broke in two? Then I looked around my 2 bedrooms, realizing he wasn't wrong. I picked up this here guitar and I poured out another song. It's just for the love of it. That's all the reason you need. Who could ask for anything else? Satisfaction or guaranteed. Don't chase rainbows for your pot of gold. You'll always have enough if you do everything you do just for the love. Next summer I walked with my daddy through his golden fields of grain, giving thanks to the heavens above for the sunshine and the rain. Just thank the good Lord, son, you know he always will provide. You know what the reason is, you don't even have to ask him why. It's just for love of it. That's all the reason you need. Who could ask for anything else? Satisfaction or guaranteed. Don't chase rainbows for your pot of gold. You'll always have enough if you do everything you do just for the love. If you do everything you do just for the love. If you do everything you do just for the love.
Oh, that's nice. Well done.
Pretty song, eh?
That's lovely, yes.
So that's one of the Charlie Pride tunes I've always I do that song in my show all the time. Whenever performing live like tonight.
We are live. Thank God we're alive. You betcha.
How are you
2020.
doing, Bill? How are you doing yourself?
I don't think you want to ask me that question. Victoria says hello, and she said one of my favorite Buddha songs.
Buddha.
What the is she referring to you or Charlie Pride or is that Buddha-ish? I thought maybe it's referring to your opposite but complementary natures. How you're kind of good at being still, and she's a whirlwind of energy. Maybe,
That could be it.
maybe that's not it. Well, it kind of made me wonder. Yeah.
That could be it.
I'm
No, I was
not
just
sure.
wondering how you're doing with all this COVID happening. I mean, you seem in good spirits every time we're together.
Well, Gene, I'm an actor. I come into the public, I become Bill Levity, and that works for other people. So that's good. You gotta be who people want you to be, Gene. I don't know if you think of it that way, but you know.
Well, it killed Elvis
It killed Elvis, right?
because he couldn't keep up to his own image. That's the
Well, he got packing on the pounds and popping the pills, and I mean, you and I are such clean living
Oh
individuals.
yeah, look at us, eh?
Yeah, that's right. That's how we maintain our sleek figures.
Yeah. I was thinking. Today. I was when I was trying to think of what I was going to talk about today, and I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about the '60s and back in the Toronto sound. Do you remember
Nice.
the Toronto sound? It was. I'm gonna name off a bunch of bands here and there as I'm going along, and if I forget anybody, I'm sorry. And if anybody out there remembers somebody that I'm not mentioning, please chat it down, and Billy will give us a heads up, and Tim will give us a heads up. But back in the '60s, when we were all teenagers and that, they were trying to figure out what the Toronto sound was. And there were bands like my band, the Majestics, Jay Smith and Majestics, Bobby Chris and the Imperials, Robbie Lane and the Disciples, the Silhouettes. There were all these different bands, and we used to go down to the Blue Note, was one of the places where the bands would go. There was Crane Plaza, Maseric Hall, Trocadero. There was all these different bands, David Clayton Thomas and the Shays, Little Caesar and the Councils. They were becoming like the Toronto band sound, you know? And it just seemed to be music that was upbeat. Most of it was upbeat, and a lot of the bands liked to play the blues back then. Like, you know, they were doing, or Ray Charles, like some of the songs from Motown people were doing. But the Toronto sound, I always thought one of the bands that came up was Motherlode. You remember Motherlode and all? Yeah.
Vaguely.
When I die, I hope to be, you know. And that was a really good example for me that the Toronto sound at the time. David Clayton Thomas and his Shays were excellent at the time, and we had our superstars back then, like Bobby Cotola was huge back then. He was like Justin Bieber when he started out. You know.
Oh God.
Well, like the teeny boppers and the screaming and the yelling. Like
Right. Same.
you know,
love and affection.
yeah, there was the Silhouettes. I mean, Rennie Simard was another one.
yeah.
Remember Rennie Simard?
Yeah.
Now he wasn't from Toronto, but I'm just saying about the different teenage acts that were happening. Paul Anka was another one.
Carol Gordon just piped in and said Grant Smith and Power.
Grant Smith and the Power. Yeah, there was that Grant Smith. So there were a lot of bands that were coming, and we were recording music, and the Toronto stations would actually play the music from all these different bands at the time, and it was pretty exciting. And now mostly all the bands back then would go to see Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks with Robbie Lane and Levon and those guys at the Concord Tavern on a Saturday afternoon. We were allowed, the age limit was 21 then for drinking. And on Saturday afternoons at the Concord Tavern, one side of the bar would be for people that were 20 years old and younger, like, up to about 14 or something like that.
Wow.
And then the other side would be for the people that were 21 and over. And
In the same room, you mean?
all in the
Yeah,
same room,
yeah.
on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, I used to take a streetcar and a bus to get to the Concord Tavern from the West End where I live, just to go on a Saturday afternoon, just to get to the Concord to see, to see Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks, and also there would be all the guitar players and the bass players and drummers and singers and everybody. We would all be there on a Saturday afternoon, and then Ronnie would get people up, get us up on stage to play with the Hawks.
What age were you then? The first time?
I was around 18 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 18, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
It was very, very exciting. So the Toronto Sound. Then there was Kelly J. and Crowbar from Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, what a feeling! What a rush! I wonder what they were talking about.
Canada's Psychedelia.
Yeah, the psychedelic. But that was another band that came up, and then what was the band from Oshawa? The Pusher Man was in the song was
What's that, John? Steppenwolf?
Steppenwolf. Thank you, John. Yes,
John.
there we go.
LJ's
Steppenwolf.
back there.
Yeah, and that song was in the Easy Rider.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Well, they were from Oshawa, and their father owned a club down in Oshawa. I forget the name of it now. It'll come to me maybe, but we all played there. And also you have to remember that a lot of these places there were fights.
Right. Yeah.
You'd always get the guys from the toughies from the West End would go to Scarborough to fight the guys in the East End, or they'd meet in the middle or someplace. And there were always these fights, Missouri Hall, Crane Plaza, the Farmers Market.
God.
Yeah.
A great cultural mix.
Yeah, but in the meantime, there was a lot of really great music going on. You know what I mean? Like at the time, and we would go to see. That's when people would go to see Jackie Shane. Yeah, who had a song "Any Other Way" out. It was I just couldn't believe it when that came on the radio. "Any Other Way," I just went whoa. And then the Beatles came along, and the British invasion took over, and a lot of the music that we were used to listening to was just taken off the air because the British invasion took over.
All that crap, which they stole anyway from North America. Bill says the Jubilee in Oshawa.
Ah, yes. Thank you,
that
Bill.
it?
Yes, the Jubilee.
Nice.
Thank you very
And he
much.
also piped in with Franklin Shepherd and the Good Shepherds, with future Vancouver musical stalwarts Robbie King and Eddie Patterson.
There you go.
There you go. Thanks, Bill.
Wow.
Who was that band you piped up with, LJ? Earlier? Before that. There was a good one. Oh, sorry. Should have caught it at the time. We missed it. Well, what was, the way that the musical styles mixed in the Le Coq d'Or. I mean, could you put a name on what the actual style was? What when you were mentioning all those bands, it occurred to me, well, the Canadian bands trying to differentiate, was it really mostly a Motown influence, or was it a mixture of blues and Motown and all
yes,
these?
it was. It was a mixture of Motown, R&B, rock and roll. It was a whole mixture, and we were like we'd do cover songs like we're on the radio, like, you know, I mean, everybody was doing Stand By Me, or one of the songs that mostly all the bands would do is Bobby Bland's tune, the Stormy Monday Blues. Everybody did Stormy Monday Blues, and then you could go into any club in Toronto and hear Knock on Wood or Midnight Hour, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
Those were the songs that's what we grew up with, you know, like that's what we heard.
The Mustang Sally of the 80s.
Mustang Sally.
Don't play that song.
Yeah, actually, that's funny you say that, because I think I told you, when I was with the Valiants, that was a band that I ended up singing with for a while up Island, and they were doing really well. And we got our first gig down in Victoria at what was it called? The Blues Broom or something like that. Anyways, it was right in Victoria, and the people that owned it said that they would book. The leader of the band came and said that we got the booking, but we only got the booking because he promised that we wouldn't do. What was the song there? You just said it.
Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally.
It's the seniors hour. Seniors hour.
I'm having a seniors moment, folks. You gotta, but that's okay. Yes.
That's all right.
So what was it again? Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally.
So we had to promise not to do Mustang Sally, and so the leader promised, and so we got the gig.
That's right. Our friends who now own the Crofton pub.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they did. They don't not anymore.
Oh,
but,
no? They've moved
no.
on? Bigger real estate somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was very exciting, and that's some of the bands that they used, like Little Caesar and the Councils, and David Clayton Thomas and the Shays, myself with the Majestics, and Bobby Curtola and a band, the Esquires. Those were the bands that they used, the Toronto bands, to open up with the Dave Clark 5 at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Right.
So that was pretty exciting, and I just thought that I just mentioned some of the bands. I'm sure I've left out quite a few, because there were quite a few bands in Toronto at that time, you know, playing in the 60s when we were all teenagers and early 20s.
Right.
And like I say, everybody looked up to Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks with Levon and those fellas. And, I should mention Dominic Toriano with, what was it, Rush? No, not Rush. What did you say?
Red, white, striped shoes. Dominic Toriano. Oh, suits.
Well,
Red.
he was with Robbie Lane and the Disciples for a while. Bush.
Georgie Oliver.
Oh, George Oliver, Mandela. You're talking about the Mandela band. Yeah. That was actually the first band to.
Bill was right on that. Mandela.
That was actually one of the first bands in Toronto to use strobe lights. Remember when the strobe light came in? Those strobe lights, you know.
Lord help the epileptics.
Yeah, yeah, really. Eh?
Bill tuned in and said, today would be the time to perform your first big record, Howlin'.
Yeah, well, thanks, Bill, but not today.
Bill. Not today. Before that, the Rogues.
The Roads, yeah.
Rogues.
But it was exciting times, and then people, these bands that I mentioned, they started writing their own songs after a while, but it was mostly every band had a sax player or two in the band, and the guitar players were all trying to sound like Robbie Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, like they were copying his style of playing, and but it was very, very exciting back then. So.
See, I was going to circle back around and ask you. Well, therefore, could you identify a Toronto sound? And someone you know, she could be slightly biased. She said, I remember when I was listening to the radio and Robbie Lane called you the Toronto sound, Eugene. Oh, we don't want to swell your head that much, but do you think? Yeah, there he goes. Thanks, Victoria. Now we won't be able to deal with him all night long. But do you think that you're able to answer that kind of a question? Was there a Canadian sound that you could identify different?
I just like to say I'm very proud to say that I was part of it. You know what I mean? I was very
because Carol
fortunate.
verifies that as well. So
yeah, I was part of that sound, and
Yeah.
and I feel really honored that I was part of it with my band and all the other groups that I tried to mention there.
thank God you're a humble human being, most of the time.
Okay, Bill.
Okay, Bill, settle down. So no, that's very interesting, that trip through, as you say, so many great bands and such a great time in the music scene in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what an exciting place for you to grow up in.
Yes, it was like one song after another. We just kept learning. We were all learning, and we just kept putting these two. Now we did them our own way, like, you know what I mean. Like we didn't try to sound like the records.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was as much as we possibly could, but we tried to put our own little twist to certain songs,
That's right.
and that was always fun. So, yeah, a lot of those people are gone now. Like, a lot of those people have left us. They're playing up there with Elvis and all.
It's a hell of a
And now
band.
Charlie Pride. Oh, the gates are open. Here comes Charlie.
Here comes Charlie.
Everybody step aside. Let the man in.
Huh.
But, yeah, it was very exciting, and I'm glad I was part of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
It's just having a private chuckle there. So, what have you prepared for us as the icing on the cake here?
icing on the cake.
Oh. Now, how long have you been playing the kalimba, Gene? It's a nice bit of addition to your...
I think at least 10 years or more
10
now.
years,
Or
yeah.
maybe, like, seriously playing it,
Yeah.
I would say in the last 4 or 5 years, I would say 5 years to 6 years to just be seriously playing it.
Yeah.
Before I was just messing around with it and didn't know, but then I started writing songs with it. But I'd like to send this tune out to Pat and Bill in Toronto.
Who've been great fans all along.
Yes, they have been. And I did this. What show are we on now? 24?
24.
24. I think I did this around the first 2 or 3 episodes that we did. I did this song. It sure feels good to see you all again. I know it's been a while, I dare not say how long it's been. Oh, you're looking good from what I see. I hope you're thinking the same about me, 'cause we're gonna have some fun tonight. Oh, now it's guaranteed. We're gonna fill the room with joy, with people like you and me. Many travel sunsets, many travel moons. We all got here now the best way we could. Whoa, I love it when you smile. Stick around with me now for a little while, 'cause we're gonna have some fun tonight. Oh, now it's guaranteed. We're gonna fill the room with joy, with people like you and me. Oh, Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Time goes by quickly, and before you know, I'll be saying good night, and then we'll all have to go. Well, safe journey home, if you please. Wake up in the morning with the fond memory that you had yourself some fun last night. And it was guaranteed. You helped to fill the room with joy, with people like you and me. Oh, have some fun. We're having fun, we are, yeah. Whoa, whoa, fill the room with joy. Whoa. Oh, fill the room with joy, yeah.
Hey, all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry to report that you've been outed. Carol noticed that perhaps you've been bickering with your razor. I got to tell you, as a clean-shaven youth who's surrounded by bearded and half-bearded men, I'm a little disturbed myself. So I'd just like to know what your intentions are, Gene, with this non-shaving adventure.
Non-shaving. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not playing anywhere.
Well, you're playing here.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, look, the room is totally packed with emptiness.
You're on international television websites, my friend. Look at that. Still handsome, although a little red foxish, I gotta say.
Well, red foxish.
Yes, no,
Oh
no.
my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding you.
No, well, what happened was the only time I actually ever let my hair grow was when I was doing that play, I'm Not Rappaport.
Right.
And I let it grow out. Next time I'll bring a picture and you'll see. But it doesn't grow. Most of my hair is on my head.
Yeah.
With my dreadlocks, you know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, so this is like 21 years growth. And so I thought, well, I'm not doing anything, so I might as well, what do you call it? Let my facial hair grow, because I mean, like, I'm shaving. I only shave once every 4 days or something like that.
Oh, you're a slow facial grower.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, so I'm letting it grow, just because when you're shaving, you're not just shaving hair, you're also taking skin off your face too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, small particles of skin shaving. So anyways, I decided to let it grow just to give my face a break, you know, just to give it a rest, you know, let it grow. That's basically why it is the way it is. And thank you very much for noticing.
Well, just don't lose your composure completely. It's all right. It's all right.
I won't.
Well, perhaps you and I are more closely genetically linked than we realized, because I'm also a slow beard grower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be some family connection.
Hey,
Back
you never
there.
know. Smith Levity, yeah, that's pretty close.
That's very close. Well, we just want to tell people that we are doing one more show before you fly back to see your lady love and your whoever else you want to visit in Ontario.
Yeah, not many.
Not many people. We shouldn't say that, because you still do have fans and friends. It's just the nature of COVID that you won't be visiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do have a wonderful guest next week. It's Don Wilkie, of course, the Slack Key Blues songwriter aficionado from Duncan.
That's right.
And we will also be breaking in our new tech guy, somebody who's been very closely associated and valued at the showroom here. Trevor. I don't know if Ted, did you tell him that he has to be witty and full of fun facts as well?
No, just leave that to me. I don't want him outshining me.
You're going to phone that. That's right.
You don't want him to outshine you, is that
No,
it?
I still want something to come back to.
Rhett Butler. Victoria thinks you look like Rhett Butler. Ooh.
I do?
Yeah,
Ooh,
nice.
wow.
Ooh, yeah. You love classic movies. Longevity John will be here on, is it Sunday, John, for your Toilet Paper Classic?
Yeah, it's Sunday the 20th.
Sunday the 20th, starting at what time?
I forget, 4 maybe in the afternoon.
4?
And I think we're just doing a few things. People doing
things.
short sets of things, and
Right.
yeah, it'll all be streamed. You can check on our schedule on showroomproductions.ca.
Good.
That will tell you what time it starts. I think it's 4.
And feel free to bring toilet paper by with your gloves on, or however you want to be safely delivering toilet paper for the drive. We appreciate that. And as I say, Gene and I will be back next Tuesday
Next Tuesday.
before he flies off for our 25th show with
Yeah,
Don Wilkie.
25, eh, Billy? That's amazing. Eh?
Amazing.
I
That's
know.
right.
And we're just, so it'll be a couple of weeks or so before we start back up again in the new year when I get back. Or
Well, we were
talk to John about that, I guess.
we have to talk to John, and we were trying to court Ed Peekakoot, of course, and he feels that we may have to go through the drive-through car wash with the windows down after you get back from Ontario. Give you a proper cleaning. But we'll see how we feel
Thanks,
about that.
Bill.
That's all right, sir. That's okay. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and we
Thank
love you. Best
Thank
of
you.
season. We'll see you on the 20... What's the date of next Tuesday, John?
22nd.
22nd. Love you all, and keep listening.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye now.
We're in the dark. We're in the dark, yeah. We're in the dark. We're in the dark, yeah.